Hey, this is Don. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about an annual review I had today. So a lot of people, I schedule a review to meet with them once a year on an annual basis to talk about what's changed regarding their long and short-term financial goals and their current cash flow and equity objectives. And it's funny, I get a lot of people who say, hey, I'm not in the market, or I don't need anything, or my rate is at 3%. And they're kind of missing the point of these reviews. So I wanted to give you some examples because I get these every single day, and I'm thinking, how do I get people to understand? I'm not selling anything on these calls, but just trying to figure out what I can do to help. My big kind of shtick is I want to help people find ways their money can work for them so they don't have to work as hard for their money anymore. So here's a scenario. This is today that just took place. So let me make this a little smaller and kind of show you what's going on. All right, so in this scenario, I had a guy. He is with a credit union where he has a car loan, and loan amount is about 33 grand, and he is currently paying, the interest rate on this is, let me just remove this so we can take a look at it. It's about $500 a month. For his car loan, he's at 2.99. He got the car a couple of years ago. So 6-year loan, we're looking at this going, all right, he thought, I'm going to try and pay this car off early, so I'm adding an extra $250 a month. Because if I do this and you calculate, he's going to save about $1,000 of interest and he's going to pay this car off early. Basically, in about just over 4 years, right around 4 years if he does this. So what he also told me though is that this exact same bank, and he has money sitting in a bank account. He goes, but you know, I just learned they've got a 4% interest high yield savings account right now. And he called me back after we talked about it. He said, you know what I think I'm going to do is, and he's got enough money to pay the car off, but the interest rate is pretty low, so he's just paying it over time. And he said, you know, if I can make 4% on the money in the savings account and it's only costing me 3% on the car loan, I should probably stop making the payments on the extra payments and just put it into the savings account that I've got. So I said, all right, let's do the math on this. And we've got his 33 grand. I just used the balance. He's got a little bit more, but just in, should you finance the car or should you pay it off? So we just used the 33,000. And they said, yeah, and if you don't make any extra payments to the loan. So when we look at it this way, here's what I'm telling them to do. I'm telling them to do this and take this thing back. You're not going to save any additional money in interest, and you're going to pay this entire car loan off when the loan is due. But instead, put that $250,000 a month at your 4% interest rate, and let's just do it over the same exact time frame, over the course of the 6 years. When I hit calculate here, here's what it shows us, is at the end of the 6-year term, if he just switches it, the exact same credit union, by the way, and leaves the money in the high yield savings account versus put it towards his low rate car loan, at the end of the 6-year term, the car is going to be paid off anyways, but he'll have taken his additional and he'll have $62,000 plus in his credit union account. So the whole idea with it, you know, and in addition to that, there's a couple other things he could do. I said, look, man, you currently have it set up on an auto pay from one bank to pay your car loan in another bank where you also have the savings account. Did you know you can just set up an auto draft from your, as part of your payroll and have this money automatically allocated directly into this credit union and then have that credit union auto pay the car loan? So he gets paid weekly. He can make the deposit into that checking account every single week, and the withdrawal only happens once a month. So that money gets to sit at its 4% rate of return for a longer period of time. It actually skews these numbers a little bit better in his favor, but I'm getting into the weeds a little bit now. But a huge success story. The guy's mortgage is in the 3s, current rates are in the 6s and 7s. I wasn't calling him to sell him a mortgage. I was calling him because I want to try and help people find ways they can make their money work for them so they don't have to work as hard for their money anymore. And this is a prime example. If you want to schedule a call with me, give me a holler. I'd love to have these same conversations with you because the more you can accumulate wealth, the higher the quality of your life. So that's my lesson for today. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll chat with you soon.